You look at any successful team, they embrace the sacrifice, and that's my job, is to sell what I'm asking them to do, which is hard and difficult. I'm gonna sell them on the fact that it's worthwhile. At the end of the day, it's worthwhile.
It was worthwhile to have that man coach our hockey team for 6 years. In my almost 3 decades here, I've only missed one live shot. In Dallas, I was at a press conference watching Ken Hitchcock speak, and I was so mesmerized that I lost track of time. Smartest hockey person I've ever known, and he's fourth all-time in wins. Tonight, we're honored to have Hitch as our Sunday Sports Plus conversation. Well, Coach, you were so beloved in your time here in St. Louis, and now you're back with the team. I'm wondering, what's your involvement with the present Blues as we speak?
Frank, I work bi-weekly with the big club with Craig and his staff. We're in contact 3 or 4 times a week on various issues. And then I work once a week every Monday with Drew Bannister and his staff at the American League level. So I watch all the games. I'm in constant contact with Doug, obviously. And then I'm usually Craig and I deal either through text or direct phone calls the next morning after games. And so I'm involved enough, but I'm far enough away that I don't get in the way. And
What do you think of Craig Berubes' work?
I think Craig's done a great job. I think the part the players like about Craig, and I've known Craig for a long, long time. Heck, I coached him in 1984, back in junior. I think they like his blunt honesty. I think they like that he takes the players' side and really works hard with his leaders. And I think the players really appreciate that. But more than anything, I think the players love Craig's resiliency. You know, he doesn't get too high, he doesn't get too low. He moves forward pretty quickly, and I think the players really like playing for a coach like that.
Doug Armstrong told me on this program 2 weeks ago that the toughest thing he ever had to do in sports was to part ways with you as the head coach. How difficult was that for you? How awkward was it for you?
It wasn't awkward, but it was very emotional, Frank. You know, first of all, I loved St. Louis. I loved the people there. I loved living there. I loved working with Doug. We had a very strong bond for a number of years. Doug made a call that he thought was right. And like any good coach, you don't agree with the call, but you got to accept it. But there was a friendship that stayed strong, even after I left there, and you know, that's why we can come back and work together with no animosity at all. And I know the nature of the business, but when you're in a bonded relationship and you're in a situation where I was in St. Louis for a pretty long time, it was very emotional for me because I felt, first of all, I was letting the team down by getting fired, and I felt like I wasn't getting the most out of the players.
Let's talk about some of the current players. In no way am I trying to compare Jordan Kyrou with a guy you coach, Connor McDavid, but do you think Kyrou has a chance to be special in this league for a long time?
Oh, I already think Jordan's an elite NHL talent. Now, the transition from being a talent to a player, that's the adjustment phase, and you don't know how long that takes. Sometimes it takes a short period of time, and sometimes it takes a long time. But if he can go from NHL talent to NHL player, that means he's a trusted player, 200 feet every shift, every night, then he has a chance with his skill level and his moxie with the puck to be an elite player.
As a coach, how concerned do you have to be with contracts? Like the Blues could be in a delicate situation. Let's just say that Ville Husso, who's going to be a free agent, is just playing much better than Jordan Binnington, who signed for years. Does that play a factor in who you start now down the stretch?
If a coach gets involved in doing things that the players know are management related, it doesn't sit well in the locker room. And that's why Craig's been terrific at it. He's had the courage to make tough decisions, emotional decisions, and he's had guys that have been loyal to him and won cups, and he's had to make hard calls on guys. And that's what makes him a very good coach, is that he's been able to make those hard calls when they've been necessary.
What is your best Brett Hull story?
I had a number of them. I think the best way I can describe it is one day early when I coached Brett, we were working on the power play. And I brought him in after practice, and I was going to have this discussion with him about the power play. And he presented ideas to me that I never thought about, I never heard. I quite frankly didn't understand it. It was so advanced for me that I made a decision when he left my dress or my coach's room that from then on, I'm not going to talk about the power play with Brett Hall. I'm going to talk about music and golf because this was way above my head.
Finally, what would you want somebody to say about Ken Hitchcock's career?
He taught me a lot. He was demanding because he believed in me.